Good morning, everybody. Today we are going to learn about the important process in the plant life, that is fertilization. It comes under embryology for the BSc second year students, botany. Under the embryology, we already studied the male gametophylia, female gametophylia, nitrosporangium and megasporangium, pollination, endosperm, polyembryony, ovules, parthenocarpy, these all. Now we are going to discuss about the fertilization. Yesterday we studied the pollination. Now today we are going to discuss about the fertilization process. Okay, fertilization means fusion of the male and female gametes. Mixing of the male and female gamete, male and female gamete, female gamete and male gamete. The fusing of these two is called the fertilization. This is Dr. B. Nagaraju, Assistant Professor of Botany, Government Degree College, Varanasi. Okay. The fusion of male and female gametes is called fertilization. The fusion of male and female gametes is called fertilization. Fertilization is in angiosperm is double fertilization type. The phenomenon of fertilization was first reported by Strasburger in 1884 in Monotropa species. The male gamete are brought to the egg present in female gametophyte by the pollen tube. By the pollen tube, male gamete reach the female gametophyte. Okay, these pollen tube, fertilization through the pollen tube, mixing fusion of the male and female gamete through the pollen tube is called, this type of reproduction is called seiponogamy. What is called seiponogamy? We call it as seiponogamy. It is first discovered by MEC. MEC discovered the pollen tube. By the pollen tube, we said by the pollen tube, male gamete reach the female gametophyte. Okay, and fertilization first reported by Strasburger. Fertilization which is happening in the dicot is double fertilization. That means 2 times fertilization is happening here. Okay. Then next, events of fertilization. What are the fertilization events that are happening here? What types are there? What are the main basic events that is happening here? Yeah, the stages involved in double fertilization are germination of pollen tube. First one is germination of pollen tube. Germination of pollen tube. Germination of pollen to form the pollen tube in the stigma of the female gametophyte. That means gynosphere. Okay. Growth of pollen tube. Next one is growth of the pollen tube. Okay. Third one is direction of pollen tube towards the micropyle of the ovule. Entering of the pollen tube into the ovule, ovary. And next one is entry of pollen tube into the embryo sac. First is entry of pollen tube into the embryo sac. Next, whenever it reaches the embryo sac, next stage is discharge of the male gametes. 2 male gametes, the discharge. Okay. Next, last one is important process is double fertilization. Syngamy and triple fusion. Syngamy and triple fusion is double fertilization process. Here, why? Because while releasing the pollen, sometimes in the some of the pollens 2 cells are there, in the some of the cells 3 nucleus are there. Of the 3 nucleus, one is the vegetative nucleus, second one is the generative nucleus. The generative nucleus divide and it forms the 2 male gametes. So, 2 male gametes and 1 vegetative cell These three enter into the pollen tube. Okay. Of the two male gametes fuse with the one with the egg cell and one with the antipodal cell. So here one is the syngamy, second one is the triple fission. Both things are happen here. That's why both the two times for fertilization will happen. That's why there is a double fertilization. Okay. And then first pollen on stigma. Naturally, a variety of pollen falls on the receptive stigma, but all of them may not germinate to bring about the fertilization. Receptive surface of the stigma receives the pollen, that is the main factor. The pollen is comparable with the stigma to germinate to form the tube. It is facilitated by stigmatic fluid, that is whether wet stigma and follicle dry stigma. These two also decide the incompatibility, either wet stigma or dry stigma, of the pollen through the recognition, rejection, and pollen reaction. Between the pollen and the stigmatic surface, these three will happen: recognition, rejection, and protein reaction. The first visible change in the pollen soon after land on the stigma is hydration. First it must be wet. తడిసినప్పుడు మాత్రమే ఇది మొలకెత్తు ఉంటుంది. The rate of pollen tube growth is often extremely rapid. 1 millimeter, above 1 millimeter per second, it shows the growth. More rapid growth. The event from pollen deposition on the stigma to the entry of pollen tube into the ovule is called pollen-pistil interaction. It is a dynamic process which involves recognition of pollen and to promote or inhibit its germination and growth. The promotion or inhibition of the growth depend on pollen and pistil interaction. Pollen and pistil interaction is the main cause whether it is germinate or degenerate. Okay. And next one is germination of pollen grain. Germination of pollen starts with the hydration. We already explained it starts with the hydration. It enters the content, move into the pollen tube. The pollen wall proteins are released from the surface. The growth is restricted to tip of the pollen tube. Restricted to the tip of the pollen tube. Okay. And all the cytoplasmic content move to the tip regions. Growth is initiated by boron molecule by transporting of sugars, biosynthesis of carbohydrates prevent pollen tube bursting. Okay, the remaining half of the pollen tube is occupied by vacuole, which is cut up from the tip by callose plug. This is a very important callose plug. The extreme tip of the pollen tube appears hemispherical and transparent when viewed through the microscope. This is called cap blocks. It forms the cap blocks. Here it forms the cap blocks. Okay. As soon as the cap blocks disappear, the growth of the pollen tube also stops. Okay. And then next is entry of the pollen tube in the style. After the germination of pollen tube, enter into the style of the stigma. The growth of pollen tube in the style depends on type of style. Which type of the style it is? There are three types of style: that hollow or open type. Hollow or open. This like this: hollow and open style, and solid style or closed style, and semi-solid. Semi-solid or half closed. Three types are there. Mainly majority are hollow open shape type. Okay. Hollow and open shape is common in monocot. Okay. The canal is lined by a single layer of the granular canals, transmitting tissues. Mucilaginous substance are present, and the canal filled with the secretion which serves as a nutrition for the growing of the pollen tube. And also controlling the incompatibility reaction in between the style and the pollen tube. The secretion contains carbohydrates, lipids, some enzymes like esterases, acid phosphatases, as well as compatibility controlling proteins. These are the limiting factors which cause the growth of the pollens. Okay, then here second one is the solid style. This is common among the dicots. It is common among the dicots. Okay, it is characterized by the presence of central core of elongated, highly specialized cells called transmitting tissues. Okay, transmitting tissues. Okay, and this is the equivalent to the lining cell of hollow. This is the equivalent to the lining cell of the hollow style and does not change the function. It also contents are also similar to the content of that. Okay, the pollen tube grows through the intracellular space of the transmitting tissue. Third one is semi-solid style. This is intermediate between the solid and open style. There is a difference of opinion on the nature of transmitting tissue. Some authors consider it is found only in the solid style, while others consider lining cells hollow style is transmitting the useful the transmitting the tissues. Okay. Next is here you can see the pollen tube. Here at the head, here callus flux are formed. Here exine and intine, mainly from the intine pectin layer, the pollen tube will germinate, it will form. Intine layer that is formed with the pectin. Outer layer is sporopollen. We all know very well about it. Here in at the tip of the pollen tube, Golgi apparatus, mitochondria, endoplasmic reticulum, lipids, and Golgi vesicle, starch grains, carbohydrates, and boron. These all are present. Here, callus flux are formed, which is main initiating factor to motivate the elongation of the pollen tube. Okay, and then next is entry of pollen tube into the ovule. This is the main important. There are three types of pollen tube entry into the ovule. How many? Three types are there. Three types of the pollen tube entries. That is, first one is porogamy. Porogamy means the pollen tube enter the ovule through the micropylar end. Through the micropylar end. It is directed by Philippum apparatus of synapses. It is the most common thing entering of the pollen tube into the embryo ovule through the micropylar end. Okay, it is common in all the dicots, most of the dicots, Azadirachta and Vareza, Kadeva, and examples also. Chelazogamy. Chelazogamy means the pollen tube enter through the chelazal end. The chelazal end, not from the micropylar end. These from the chelazal end. It entered through the chelazal end and it reached the egg cell. Okay. Third one is mesogamy. That means the pollen tube enter the ovule through the funiculus or integument. But the pollen tube with two male gametes enters the embryo sac through the micropylar end only. Though it reaches the integument or funiculus, it must go through the micropylar end only to reach the egg cell. All these three types are there in the Brassica oleracea, Racem catenatum, Brassica oleracea varieties. Okay, these three types are there in the Brassica. Okay, mainly these three are porogamy, chelazogamy, and mesogamy. This mesogamy and cookability first identified by the true. Okay, then obturators. Obturators. It is the main elongated finger-like projection structure which facilitated the entry of pollen tube into the ovule by forming the short bridge. Soon after fertilization, captivator sinks and disappears. And one more important one is filiform operator. The mass finger-like projections resembles the sponge wall and is called transfer cells. This present in the micropylar end of each synergid, first identified by the Haberman, and the aid of the synergids in the absorption and transportation of the material. Material means male gametes into the embryo sac. Main duty is to absorption and transportation of the male gametes into the embryo sac. Okay. Then next one is X bodies. While entering the male gametes and vegetative nucleus and generative nucleus of the two male gametes, some of the X stalk are to darkly stained. Bodies also enter inside the ovule and embryo sac, absorbed in the synergids. In the synergids, these two dark stained bodies are there. The two dark stained bodies in the synergid then penetrate the pollen tube or in the vicinity of the egg operators. These bodies are called X bodies. What it is? X bodies. As the Navasin have been interpreted as decomposition products of vegetative nucleus. It may be decomposition products of vegetative nucleus, and Jensen interpreted one of them remains of the synergid nucleus and the other as a remains of vegetative nucleus. One is from synergid, another one is from vegetative nucleus. That means one is from male, another one from female gamete. Okay. And then next is entry of pollen tube into the embryo sac. The pollen enters into the embryo sac directly into one of the synergids. Irrespective of the place of entry of pollen tube into the ovule, it enters the embryo sac at the micropylar end only. Either in porogamy or chelazogamy, mesogamy, it must be reached the egg cell through the micropylar end only. The growth of pollen tube toward the ovary, ovule and embryo sac is due to the presence of chemotropic substances, chemical substances which do act as a pheromones. The pollen tube, after traveling the whole length of the style, enter into the ovary locule where it is guided toward the micropyle of the ovule by the structure that is called obturator. I already explained you. After reaching the embryo sac, the pore is formed in the pollen tube wall, the apex, just behind the apex. Content of the pollen tube. What are the contents in the pollen tube? Two male gametes and vegetative nucleus and cytoplasm. Okay, these three discharge into the synergids, to which pollen tube enter. What are these? Two male gametes, vegetative nucleus and cytoplasm. These three enter into the synergids. Okay, and the pollen tube does not grow behind it in the embryo sac. Tube nucleus disorganizes. Okay, here you can see the pollen tube entering at the micropylar end, and it reaching the synergid cells. It releases the two male gametes, and one of the male gametes fuses with the egg cell, another male gamete fusing with the polar. Okay, this process is happening here in the angiosperm. Double petalization, triple fission. Okay, whatever the male gametes, they fertile to different components of the embryo sac. Two male gametes that enter into the synergid embryo sac that fertilize the two different components of the embryo sac. Since both the male gametes are involved in the fertilization, the phenomena is called double fertilization. Fertilization process is happening here two times with the two male gametes. Okay, H.G. Navasin and Gingar 1898 and 1899 observed in Lilium and Titularia that both the male gametes released from the male gametophyte are involved in the fertilization. Both the male gametes are involved in the fertilization. It is observed by Navasin and Gingar. One of the male gametes fused with the egg nucleus, that is called syngamy. By that it formed the zygote. One of the male gametes fused with the egg nucleus, that is called syngamy. Process is called syngamy. By that it formed the zygote, diploid. Okay. The second gamete, male gamete, migrates to the central cell, where the central cell, where it fused with the polar nuclei. Fused with the polar nuclei or their fusion product, the secondary nucleus, and form the primary endosperm nucleus. It forms the embryo. What it is? Primary endosperm nucleus. It forms the primary endosperm nucleus. Okay. And this primary endosperm nucleus will formed by the what is the process? Polar nuclei, secondary nucleus fusing with the second male gamete. Three nucleus are fused here. This is a triple fusion. Okay. In all three nuclei, that's why it is a triple fusion. This act results in endosperm formation, which form the nutritive tissue for the embryo. It is only in the angiosperm after fertilization, second male gamete fusing with the central nucleus or secondary nucleus or the polar nuclei of the diploid. So diploid nuclei with one male gamete, triple nucleus, three nucleus are fusing, that's why triple fusion. It is first identified by the Navasin. By that it formed the PEN, primary endosperm nucleus. It developed and modified as endosperm. It is a nutritive tissue. It is a nutritive tissue which will be useful for the development mature of the embryo. Okay, and then next is here you can see the egg cell and synergids. These enlarged here in the embryo sac, releasing of the sperm cell, two sperm cells. We are releasing of the two sperm cells. Okay, first one and second. The first one is fusing with the egg cell. The second one is fusing with the two polar nuclei. By that it formed the triploid endosperm 3N, triploid endosperm 3N. Okay, and diploid zygote, diploid zygote. Two times fertilization is happening. That's why it is a double fertilization. Double fertilization. Here egg cell to the male gamete. It forming the zygote, the syngamy process. We form the embryo and secondary nucleus. The second male gamete. It processes the triple fusion by three nucleus are fusing here. Two of the secondary nucleus, one from the male gamete. So, PEN, primary endosperm nucleus will form this modified and from the endosperm. Two fertilization processes, embryo formation and endosperm formation, syngamy and triple fusion. Both the processes are occurring here, that is double fertilization. That is called double fertilization. Okay. Double fertilization process. Okay, both the processes are happening. But whereas in a gymnosperm, before the fertilization only, female gamete will form the endosperm. So in the gymnosperm it is applied, while in the angiosperm it is triploid. Of course, in some of the Fritillaria plumbagola it is a pentaploid, and in the peperomia it is a 9 nucleus. Okay, and then here both the processes happening. One is the syngamy, second one is the triple fission. So that's why it is a double fertilization. But it is forming the nutrition tissue and embryo. Both it is forming. For the total development of the embryo, the endosperm will be useful. Okay. This endosperm may be sometimes fully utilized for the development of the embryo, sometimes it may be remain. The remaining endosperm is called perisperm. That's based upon that endospermic seeds and non-endospermic seeds will form. And next one is polyspermy. That means more than two male gametes may release from the single pollen tube, or maybe more than two pollen tubes may form. Okay, it may be more than two male gametes in the pollen tube. Okay, or more pollen tubes formation. Okay, sometimes this may fuse with the synergids or antipodal cells. First one fuse with the egg cell and it from the embryo. The second extra male gamete, they may fuse with the synergids and antipodal cells. In fertile, it leads to the polyembryony, adventive polyembryons. Okay, and then sometimes extra pollen tube may fuse with polar nuclei. This is called heterofertilization. One male gamete is fusing with the egg cell, that is common. Sometimes extra male gamete, they may fuse with the polar nuclei, secondary cells or central cells. By that it forms the heterofertilization. Both the fertilization process. Okay, two different fertilization process will happen. Okay, that is heterofertilization. Okay. Okay. Post fertilization. Fertilization is happen. Here fertilization, by the fertilization it forms the embryo and endosperm. What is next? After fertilization, several changes take place in the floral part up to the formation of the seed. After fertilization, it forms the seed and fruit. The event after fertilization, endosperm, embryo development, formation of seed, fruits are called post-fertilization stages. What are those? Endosperm formation, embryo development, formation of seed and fruit. These all are the post-fertilization stages. Here you can see the fertile embryo that is maturing and it forms the seed and fruit. How it is developing the fruit from the flower to the fruit. What are the main changes happening after fertilization? Floral part, sepals, petals, stamens, style, stigma, these all are degrade with a polyp after fertilization. Ovary will become the fruit. Ovule will become the seed. Egg become the zygote. And fericle become the stalk of the seed. Okay, micropyle will become the micropyle of the seed. Okay, that facilitates the oxygen and water uptake. And nucellus will become the perisperm, albuminous. Outer integument of the ovule will become the testa, outer seed of the coat. And inner integument will become the tegmen, inner coat of the fruit. And synergid cells will degenerate and secondary nucleus will form the endosperm. And antipodal cells also degenerate. These are the modifications. Here main process, ovary become the fruit, ovule become the seed, egg become the zygote. These are the main steps and secondary nucleus become the endosperm. These are the main steps which occur after the fertilization. These all are called post-fertilization changes. Okay. And here these are the total steps the fertilization, falling of the pollen or stigma, germination of the pollen tube, entering of the pollen tube in the ovule, entry of the pollen tube into the embryo sac, releasing of the gametes, male gametes. One is fusing with the egg cell, another one fusing with the secondary cells. Uh, uh, what is called syngamy, zygote formation, and triple fission, primary endosperm nucleus formation, that leads to the endosperm. But after fertilization, it from the seed. Okay, that germinate and from the new plant. Okay, thank you all.